How to register cybercrime complaint with Cyber Cell of Police online complaint procedure. What is cybercrime? Any activity being unlawful in nature which involves the use of any network or networked device or computer as a means to commit such activity is known as cybercrime. It can be inferred from the definition that computer is the main element which is either used as a tool for directly committing a cybercrime or can be used to target other computers or devices. The former category, which requires computer as a direct weapon, involves the committing of crimes like cyber terrorism, pornography, intellectual property rights violations, etc. Whereas in the latter category crimes like hacking, virus attacks, etc. are committed. Following is the process of filing cybercrime complaint. Cybercrime is a criminal activity which is carried on by the use of computers and the internet. Some of the common cybercrimes are hacking, cyber stalking, denial of service attack, DOS, virus dissemination, software piracy, credit card fraud and phishing. To tackle the issue of cybercrimes, CIDs, criminal investigation departments, of various cities opened up cybercrime cells in different cities. The Information Technology Act of India states clearly that when a cybercrime has been committed, it has a global jurisdiction, and hence a complaint can be filed at any cyber cell. Step-by-step procedures to file a cybercrime complaint. Step 1. The foremost step is to lodge a complaint against cybercrime and the person who committed it with the Cyber Police or with the Cyber Cell India. Various departments for investigating crimes in various cities have been established by the cybercrime cells. These departments not only investigate the crime but they also take the charge of getting the crime reported in time. The victim can at any time make a complaint to the Cyber Police or with the crime investigating department of the Cyber Cell both through online or offline method. One can also give a call at Cybercrime helpline number. Step 2-1 may need to provide name, mailing address and telephone number along with an application letter addressing the head of a cybercrime investigation cell when filing a complaint. Step 3-1 must provide certain documents in order to register a complaint. List of documents varies with the type of cybercrime. One requisite while registering the complaint is to attach or annex the documents which support the facts of the case fully. The type of documents required to be attached at the time of registering the cybercrime complaint depends on the nature of cybercrime committed. If you want to learn more about cyber law, you can take up this course. This course will train you on different kinds of actual work that is required to be performed by lawyers and other professionals. After finishing the course, you will have acquired as much practical knowledge as a lawyer working at a big law firm in TMT team will know after a year or two. It is not a mere theoretical study, but hands-on practical lessons where you will have to draft a lot of documents and develop strategies. Documents required to file a complaint. Documents required to be annexed while reporting a complaint about hacking. Server logs. If the website of the victim has been defaced, then both soft copy and hard copy of defaced web page. A soft copy of original data and the compromised data, if the data has been hacked on either victim's computer, server or any other equipment. Details like name of the accused person who accessed the victim's computer system or his email for accessing the victim's computer or email. There can be chances that a victim might find some person suspicious, then the list of people who he found to be suspect. Other relevant information to answer the following questions. Which data was compromised and who might be responsible for doing that? At what time did the system compromise and what was the reason for system compromise? Where is the impact of the attack? Identifying the target system from the network. How many systems did get compromised by the attack? Documents required for filing complaint against vulgar emails. Headers of email which is offending. Both soft and hard copy of offending emails. Copy of offending email from your inbox and one from the hard drive. Documents required for filing a complaint against social media-based complaints. A copy clearly showing the alleged profile. Copy showing the URL of the alleged content or profile. Both hard and soft copy of the alleged content. Soft copy to be provided in a CDR. Documents required for filing a complaint against net banking ATM complaints. Copy of bank statement from the concerned bank of last 6 months. Copy of SMSs received related to the alleged transactions. Both copy of your ID proof and address proof as shown in the bank records. Documents required for filing a complaint against business emails. A brief clarifying the offense in written. Name and location of origin. Bank name and account number of origin. Name of the recipient as his/her bank records. Bank account number of the recipient. Bank location of the recipient. This is optional. Date of transaction. Amount of transaction. SWIFT number. Documents required for filing data theft complaints. It is required that copy of the data which stolen has to be filed. The certificate showing a copyright over the allegedly stolen data, I.E. Copyright certificate of the stolen data. Details of the employees who are suspected. Letter of appointment of the suspected employee. Non-disclosure agreement of the above said employee. Assigned list of duty. List of clients handled by the suspects. The proof that the copyrighted data has been breached. Devices used by the accused during his/her term of service. Cybercrime complaint online. In the past decades, the advancement in technology and the number of internet users have grown at a great pace and up to a great extent. With the increase in use of internet, it is obvious that there will be cons for the excessive use as well. In lieu of the excessive use, certain crimes online are also committed, and thus, for the protection of the victim, it is necessary to have provisions for registering the complaint and intimating the officials about the commission of the crime for punishing the accused. Step 1. One can submit the complaint for cybercrime both offline and online. Cyber Cell India is the department which deals with the online and offline cyber complaint, and thus, the first step is to report the complaint to this department. One can also give a call on cybercrime helpline number. You can visit here to file an online cybercrime complaint. Step 2. A written complaint has to be filed with the cybercrime cell by the victim in the city he or she is in. But since cybercrime comes under the purview of the global jurisdiction, thus, it is implied from this that one can file a cyber complaint in the cybercrime cell of any city irrespective of the fact that the person originates from some other cities in India. Step 3. Following information is required to be given by the victim at the time of filing the complaint with the cyber cell. Name of the victim person filing the complaint. His contact details. Address for mailing. The written complaint shall be addressed to the head to the department. Step 4. In case of no access to the Cyber Cell India, one can report the matter to the local police station by filing a first information report. If the complaint due to any reason does not get accepted in the police station, then in that case one can approach the judicial magistrate or the commissioner. Step 5. One can also file a first information report under the provision of the Indian Penal Code if the offence falls under this code. It is an obligation of every police officer to lodge the complaint as it has been made mandatory under Section 154 of Code of Criminal Procedure. Jurisdiction. Information Technology Act 2000 has been dealing with the computer and internet-related crimes, and according to this act, cyber crimes are committed all over the country. Cybercrime Investigation Cell has the jurisdiction all over the country as per Section 1 and Section 75 of the Information Technology Act 2000, which deals in guiding principles concerning cyber jurisdiction and has the power to investigate all such crimes, with the jurisdiction police officer not below the rank of Deputy Superintendent of Police can investigate any offence under this act. The central government shall appoint an officer, not below the rank of a director, to the Government of India or an equivalent officer of a state government to adjudicate and inquire the matter. Those who do not have cyber cell in their districts can file an online complaint on the Cyber Cell of India. Cyber Policing in India. Crime and Criminal Tracking Network and Systems, CCTNS. CCTNS is a project under the National E-Governance Plan. It directs at creating a nationwide networking infrastructure for an it-enabled criminal tracking and crime detection system. The project is approved by the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs in 2009, with an allocation of ₹2 billion. Online complaints. In order to tackle cybercrime, the central government recently announced that they would be setting up a Center Citizen portal. The advantage of this portal is that it will allow citizens to file complaints online with respect to cybercrimes, including online financial fraud, cyber stalking, and many more. Another feature of this portal is that any complaint on the portal will trigger an alert at the relevant police station and allow the police department to track and update its status. It also allows the complainant to view updates and escalate the complaint to higher officials. Cyber police stations. Cyber police stations generally include appropriate equipment to analyze and track digital crimes as well-trained personnel. If any person becomes a victim of cybercrime, then he/she can file a complaint in a cyber police station, and where there is no cyber police station available in the city, then in such case complainant can file a complaint in the local police station. Predictive policing. It refers to the usage of the mathematical, predictive analysis, data mining, and other analytical techniques in law enforcement to identify potential criminal activity. In India, Jharkhand Police, Delhi Police, and Hyderabad City Police working on the predictive policing in order to scan online records to study crime trends and in order to prevent crime. Types of cyber crimes. Hacking. Access is basically a means or an opportunity to approach or enter a place or a way, etc. It further involves instructing or communicating with the resources of a computer device like logical resources, arithmetical resources, memory function resources, etc. A person makes unauthorized use of or access to the computing device of the other person when he does that without taking the permission of the actual owner of the device. Hacking, on the other hand, is an act of breaking into the network or computer of the other person. It also involves stealing the credit or debit card information or other bank details for making personal monetary gains. Real-life example of hacking. Vladimir Levin, a Russian programmer with a computer software firm in St. Petersburg, managed to get access and stole millions of dollars in 1995 from Citibank network. Trojan attack. Trojan or a Trojan horse is normally disguised as a legitimate software which is employed by the person committing cyber theft or by hackers as well to gain access to and extract information of the systems of other users. It enables the cyber criminal to have access to the sensitive information of the legitimate user, spy on them and have a backdoor access on their systems. It also includes deleting, modifying, blocking and copying data along with disrupting the performance of various computer systems. Trojans can attack a legitimate owner in various ways based on the action performs, thus, it is classified as follows. Backdoor: it acts like a remote control and authorizes the hacker to have a control in the infected network or computer. It can involve sending or deleting files and also rebooting the computer. Trojan banker: it is used for stealing the legitimate owner's bank or account details, which includes the details of credit and debit cards as well. Trojan downloader: it helps in installing and downloading a new version of malicious software in a particular computer. Trojan spy: it helps in tracking data or getting a list of applications etc. Example of Trojan. A Trojan named as Spot has infected more than 37,000 computers in the United Kingdom through a drive-by download. Users visiting a compromised site would unknowingly receive the virus as a cookie and then it steals all the data of the users. Virus and worm attack. Virus is the program which has the capability of infecting the other programs. It also has the capability to make copies of itself and spread it into other programs. Worms are programs which help in multiplying like viruses and spread it from device to device. Example of virus and worm attack. A virus named Melissa is considered to be the most damaging virus ever released. It was the fastest spreading email-based worm ever. Melissa lured people by claiming in an email that it contains the list of passwords for pornographic sites, and when the message opened it created havoc on the computer systems. Identity theft. Identity theft is one of the most common and prominent forms of cybercrime in which a person committing the crime steals the information of the other person by the use of the internet. There is a broad scope of criminal activities under the purview of cybercrime. Internet acts as a great source of making things accessible easily without moving from one place. Though the internet at one point is proving to be a boon in today's scientifically updated community, but on the other hand, it is unfortunate that some people are indulging in unlawful activities by committing cyber crimes and making misuse of the technology. Example of identity theft. Abraham Abdullah duped several credit score companies into providing them with information, and then steal millions of dollars from America's richest people including Warren Buffett and Stephen by using their identity. Email-related crimes. Email spoofing. This is a fraud act which makes an email to appear originating from a particular person and from a particular place which in reality is not the original source. Thus, as the message appears to be from one source which is actually not an original source. With the help of a working simple mail transfer protocol, an email spoofing can easily be achieved. The recipient can inspect the email source code to check whether the email is spoofed or not. Also, the recipient can track the IP address of the email and trace it back to the original sender. Email spamming. Spamming is a deliberate act of sending email to a large number of people in the similar to a chain letter and to use network resources. It can be combined with email spoofing. Email booming. In this, identical email messages are sent to a particular IP address by the abusers on repeatedly. Phishing. It is a type of cybercrime in which the hacker sends the URLs and email attachments which are malicious in nature to the users. The purpose of the hacker in phishing is to gain access to systems of legitimate users. The users get trapped into the trick played by the hackers who send the emails claiming the user the need to change their password or update their account information, which easily gives access to the criminals of their system. The purpose is to extract personal information like passwords, credit and debit card numbers, etc. Criminals have an objective of gaining access to the login credentials of the real owner of the system, network or device, etc. through this kind of attack. By being cautious of these kinds of suspected email attachments, the user can protect itself from the phishing attack and at the same time protect its personal information. The scammers may try to trap a person in this scam by claiming fake information that unauthorized or suspicious activity is happening on a particular person's account. HDFC Bank Guidelines on Cybercrime. How to avoid phishing scams. The guidelines to avoid phishing scams by HDFC Bank are followed as: identify signs of fraud. To know about phishing websites and email, you need to look carefully on the subject matter which is delivered by the websites or email, as in phishing websites and email will often be riddled with grammatical errors and fake branding. Inspect a website before interacting with it, as look at the URL or website address closely, as you will never see a misspelling in the bank name, and a genuine bank website address will always be prefixed with HTTPS. That is an indication that all communication between your browser and the bank's website is encrypted. Click cautiously. Another way to identify phishing websites or email is most phishing sites spread their reach on the internet by posting flashy and lucrative links on websites with high user traffic. It is advisable to inspect links before interacting with them because clicking on them can seriously compromise your security. If you find anything suspicious, then do a quick web search to identify the bank's official website address or URL. Exercise caution. The best way to avoid phishing is to become more and more cautious by using only trusted and genuine software and services when banking online. Access websites only through official links and sources, and follow proper security procedures. Also, check if the website is secure by inspecting its URL for the SSL certificate, and also it is advisable to have two devices, one for work and one for personal use, so that the security of the work device is never compromised. How to recover from a phishing attack. The guidelines to recover from a phishing attack by HDFC Bank are followed as: change all your passwords. The first step you should take to keep the damage minimum from phishing is to change your login credentials and passwords. Since the scammer could have access to all your accounts, so it is advisable to change your credentials and passwords as soon as possible and to keep them out of the system and prevent further damage. Contact the officials. The next important step would be to call your bank and explain the situation to them, as by informing them they will then freeze your account so that no further transaction can be conducted. After informing your bank officials, it is also advisable to inform the Cybercrime Division, as most states have a Cybercrime Division. Scan your system. The third important step to recover from a phishing attack is to scan your system to ensure the attacker did not install any malware or backdoor software on the device for future attacks. Delete emails from unknown sources. It is also advisable to the customers to go through your inbox once a week and delete marketing mailers and emails from unknown sources. If you ever find yourself at the receiving end of a phishing scam, Don't panic because even the most complicated attack can be resolved with the help of your bank and the police authorities. Above all, remember to exercise caution in all your online transactions. Trolling. The word itself indicates that it is an act of defaming the other person online in front of the whole world. The purpose of this is to tarnish the reputation or lower down the image of the innocent person. It disrupts the online communication. Cyberbullying. When an unknown attacker uses the electronic form of media or internet to post photos, videos, texts, messages of such type which can be embarrassing in nature. It is a form of harassment which involves the use of some harsh terms to affect the victim fully. The intention is to insult the victim publicly. Posting humiliating rumors, nasty comments, posting hate comments to trigger the political, religious and ethical beliefs or point of views of the people are some of the types of cyberbullying. Steps to prevent cyberbullying. Today's generation has grown up using technology and is well versed with it. So it is essential to keep a check on them, and it is the duty of the parents to keep a check on the activities of their children. Because the teenagers have less maturity and understanding to make a difference between what is right and what is wrong, that is the reason why they are more vulnerable to cyberbullying, and that is why it is crucial for parents to have a constant check on the activities of their children while they use the internet. There are various warning signs to be looked upon to check whether the person at your place is bullied or might be bullying someone. These signs are as follows. Time fluctuation in the use of phone or laptop by an adult or child. The tendency to avoid healthy discussions online. Hiding of profile from others. Indifferent behavior towards social activities. Signs of becoming stressed or depressed, etc. After observing all the warning signals, if there is a situation of the person facing cyberbullying, then it is essential to report the case to the cybercrime cell as soon as possible. The steps to prevent cyberbullying are followed by as. Step 1. Educate yourself. If you want to prevent cyberbullying, then it is very important for you and for your children to understand what exactly it is. Step 2. Protect your password. To prevent cyberbullying, it is also very important for the netizen that you must safeguard your password and all private information from curious peers. Never ever give bullies the opportunity to post anything embarrassing about yourself. Step 3. Raise awareness. It is the responsibility of all parents and individuals to bring awareness to cyberbullying, whether it be through a movement, a club, an event or campaign. Step 4. Set up privacy controls. Change your privacy controls and restrict who can see your profiles to only trusted friends. Step 5. Never open messages from people you don't know. There is an old saying that precaution is better than cure. Never open messages from people you don't know. Delete them without reading them, as they could contain viruses and infect your computer. It is best to not engage and ignore them. Step 6. Always log out of your accounts on public computers. Staying logged in public computers, you run the risk of the bully changing your password and locking you out for a period of time. So, don't give anyone the slightest chance to pose as you or to share false information. Step 7. Don't be a cyberbully. We cannot see the change in society until and unless we promised to change ourselves. It is your responsibility to treat others as you want to be treated. If you find someone getting cyberbullied, then help him and don't become a cyberbully. Ransomware. It is a form of malware or malicious software which, after taking control of the computer, restricts the person to access his own system. To prevent the system from ransomware infection, it is essential to defend one's own system by keeping it updated and by installing the software only after knowing every detail about it. Such defensive steps shall be necessarily taken into consideration. Installing antivirus software is another defensive step which helps in detecting such malicious software. Keeping a backup of documents and files is really important, and automatic backup shall also be done. Cyber stalking. The term stalking refers to keeping a check or surveillance on some particular person by an individual or a group of individuals. When it is done through the means of the internet or by following the other person constantly on his/her social media account, then it is known as cyber stalking. It often takes a form of harassment and is overlapping with cyberbullying. There were no specific laws dealing with cyber stalking prior to February 2013 amendment. But the scenario has changed after this year. Section 354D of Indian Penal Code deals with providing punishment for cyber stalking. According to this provision, any man who repeatedly follows or contacts a woman or tries to do so for the purpose of fostering personal interaction despite clear indication by a woman showing her disinterest, or who monitors the internet, email or other forms of electronic communication used by a woman, then it amounts to the offense of stalking. There is an exception to this section, that stalking done for following purposes will not be liable to punished under Section 354D. If a man pursued it for the purpose of preventing or detecting crime, and the man accused has been entrusted with the responsibility of preventing and detecting the crime by the state, or it was pursued under any law or to comply with any condition or requirement imposed by any person under any law, or in particular circumstances such conduct was reasonable and justified. Steps to protect yourself against cybercrime. The steps to prevent yourself against cybercrime are followed as: Step 1. Use a good internet security suite. There are many good internet security suite available in the market. Just buy the premium version of any security suite which helps you to protect your financial information whenever you go online. Step 2. Use strong passwords. It is advisable to change your passwords regularly and don't repeat your passwords on different sites. Always try to make them complex, like using a combination of at least 12 letters, symbols and numbers. Step 3. Keep your software updated. Whenever your system asks you to update your software, always update it. As cyber criminals frequently use known exploits or flaws in your software to gain access to your system. When your system software is updated, then there are less chances that you'll become a cyber target. Step 4. Manage your social media settings. It is advisable to keep your personal and private information locked down because cyber criminals can often get access to your personal information with just a few data points, so the less you share publicly, it better would for you. Step 5. Strengthen your home network. It is advisable to use a strong encryption password as well as virtual private network. Use a VPN whenever you use a public Wi-Fi network, whether it is a cafe, hotel, airport or library. Step 6. Know what to do if you become a victim. The first thing you can do is to identify what kind of cybercrime has been committed. Then, the next thing is you need to alert the cyber cell of your city in case. If you don't have any cyber cell in your city, then you need to alert the local police. It is important even if the crime seems minor, because it may prevent such criminals from taking advantage of other people in the future.